Today's Buzz on Steelers talk centered around the swirling rumors of a possible trade for star cornerback Jalen Ramsey. But it seems that ESPN's Adam Schefter has poured cold water on the speculation, saying that Ramsey heading to Pittsburgh is far from likely. Schefter explained this morning that although the Steelers inquired, they're probably not the top destination. Instead, according to him, the LA teams, either the Chargers or the Rams, make more sense for Ramsey right now. Schefter reminded US that Ramsey previously thrived under Sean McVay in Los Angeles before his Super Bowl run, and apparently, he still prefers a setting on the West Coast. All of this aligns with recent scoops suggesting he's eyeing a move to a familiar environment. On the other hand, we've got Ricky, aka the People's Insider, the guy who nailed the George Pickens trade to the Cowboys and even the Aaron Rodgers signing to Pittsburgh before anyone else caught on. So there's a real tug of war between big league intel and street level scoop. Which one will come through? Honestly, I'm keeping expectations wide open. Sure, Schefter is arguably the most plugged-in source in NFL media, but Ricky has delivered in ways that surprised everyone this offseason. Here's how I see it. The Steelers are certainly in the mix for Ramsey, maybe not top dog, but part of the conversation. The real sticking point: money. Ramsey is due around $21 million guaranteed this year, with just under $19 million of that coming in a Week 1 option bonus. That's a hefty chunk of cap space, especially when you consider Pittsburgh already invested heavily in DK Metcalf and is prepping a massive extension for TJ Watt. The cap hit might look manageable around $5.9 million, but shelling out Ramsey's full guarantee could test ownership's appetite. So that's the Ramsey update. Are we still in it? Absolutely. Will it happen? That's the million-dollar question. What do you think? Is Schefter right, or is Ricky about to surprise everyone again? Shifting gears now to Aaron Rodgers, who turned heads today with his appearance on the Pat McAfee Show. He made several revelation bombs, including the bombshell that 2025 is most likely his final season in the league. He said as much himself: "I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we did just a one-year deal." He called Pittsburgh the perfect place for a final act underscoring how's excited to lead a storied franchise with championship aspiration. And let me tell you, the future is going to be wild. On one hand, you've got Rodgers as QB1 in 2025. Then next offseason, if he's done as he says, it's back to square one or first round picking the next franchise quarterback in the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh. Imagine that moment, our city hosting the next big name stepping up as a rookie QB. It's the kind of scene that makes history. That said, I could see the Steelers going veteran one more time, signing another one-year bridge veteran while a rookie sits and learns behind Rodgers. Cam Hayward has 2 years left on his deal and wants to chase that elusive Super Bowl ring before he retires. If Rodgers doesn't deliver it this year, and let's face it, rookies rarely secure Super Bowl wins in their first go, Pittsburgh might have to choose: invest in youth or trade the veteran that still wants a shot. If Hayward senses the writing on the wall, he might request a trade to chase a ring elsewhere. The dominoes could fall fast. Back to Rodgers' McAfee chat. He dropped several juicy bits. One was that he spoke with Coach Tomlin weekly throughout free agency, making it clear this was a relationship built on mutual respect. They said all along that Mike Tomlin wanted Rodgers, and Rodgers wanted Tomlin, and there you go, it played out exactly how they planned. There was talk everywhere about why Rodgers took his time. Some speculated personal reasons, some thought he was just weighing options. But apparently, he just wanted to sort some personal business before committing, and the Steelers stayed patient. No rushing, no leaks, just a steady game plan. Another interesting nugget: DK Metcalf. Rodgers called him a major reason he chose Pittsburgh, praising his conversations and character. He pointed out how when Metcalf makes explosive plays like a 60-yard touchdown, it lifts the whole offense. In Rodgers' words, the receiver room goes as the top dog goes. He reiterated he's looking forward to clicking with Metcalf, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, Robert Woods, Scotty Miller, all those weapons this offense boasts. And yes, there are plans brewing already. Rodgers will host a throwing session in Malibu next week, likely hitting the UCLA facility to build timing, chemistry, and cadence, gearing up ahead of late July's first training camp practices. Rodgers also leaned into the veteran leadership role. 20 years in the league, many seasons in similar systems, he said he's going to earn that leadership mantle every single day in camp. He's not here to just sit back, he's here to guide. His words: "I really want the mantle of leadership on offense, and I'm going to earn it every single day in training camp." That kind of drive is exactly what Pittsburgh's been missing. But perhaps the most revealing part, Rodgers pushed back hard on the narrative that he craves attention. He made it very clear that he values privacy, that he hates the spotlight off the field. He spoke about paparazzi leaking personal information, stalking his private life. All of that. He said, "It's a sick society. We live this entitlement to information, where athletes' personal lives are posted online." He emphasized that once he's retired, he's stepping away, won't be out and about at events. He's not jumping into the limelight once football is over, and I respect that. He wants elementary privacy, and that's commendable. Even Steelers players got a first-hand impression of this. Sources at mandatory minicamp said they were pleasantly surprised by Rodgers' personality, more normal than what you hear. According to reports, it lines up Rodgers as not just the talent, but a teammate and person worth rooting for. So what's the bottom line on Rodgers in Pittsburgh? I'm hyped beyond belief. He fits this offense like a glove. He aligns with Tomlin's leadership culture, and his weaponry is top tier. Add another receiver and you've got one of the more complete rosters in the NFL, a defense that can compete, a running game that's hopefully improved, and Rodgers bringing MVP-level talent to the field. It's the perfect recipe for a Super Bowl run. This season just got super intriguing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Rodgers misunderstood? Yes or no, and be ready to debate. Is he playing victim? Or is he just a private guy sick of public intrusion? As we gear up for the final ride of Aaron Rodgers' NFL career, the energy inside the Pittsburgh locker room feels different. There's a real buzz. Not just because Rodgers brings Hall of Fame credentials, but because of what he's already doing to connect with this team. His leadership isn't just about barking calls or commanding huddles, it's about setting a tone. He's already reached out to young wideouts like Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin, making it clear they're not just roster pieces, they're part of something bigger. There's value in that for a young team. When a four-time MVP tells you he's got your back, that he's taking time to build timing with you, you rise to that level. And Rodgers knows that, which is why next week's throwing session out in Malibu is such a big deal. It's not mandatory, it's not even officially team-sponsored, but it's the kind of thing leaders do. They invest, they build trust, and that trust is what separates playoff hopefuls from true contenders. Rodgers made it clear he's not in this for a retirement tour. He's chasing one more ring. And he chose Pittsburgh because he believes this roster is close. He's talked about how the defense is championship caliber, and he's right. T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter Jr., that side of the ball is ready to make noise. What they've needed is a stabilizing force at quarterback, someone who won't waste those dominant performances by throwing picks or coming up short in crunch time. Rodgers thrives in those moments. You think back to all the comebacks, the sideline throws, the late-game magic he's pulled off in Green Bay. It's exactly what the Steelers were missing last year, but with all this optimism, there's also the looming uncertainty of the post-Rodgers era. If he's truly gone after this season, Pittsburgh will find itself in a familiar spot hunting for a new quarterback. That's why the front office is already thinking ahead. There's talk that the Steelers are eyeing next year's draft, which conveniently is happening right here in Pittsburgh, to find their next franchise QB. That moment is going to be electric. The whole city will be watching as the future of the franchise steps on stage, shaking hands, holding up that black and gold jersey. But let's be real, it's rare for a rookie quarterback to come in and immediately compete for a title. That's why some believe Pittsburgh might bring in another veteran for a bridge year. If Rodgers hangs it up, someone like a Matthew Stafford or Baker Mayfield, who can mentor the rookie while keeping the team competitive. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The sports world is abuzz with a rumor that, if true, would send shockwaves across continents. Could T.J. Watt, the undisputed defensive powerhouse of the Pittsburgh Steelers, be considering a move to Brazil? While the Steelers organization has yet to make an official statement, the whispers are growing louder, suggesting a potential confirmation of Watt's arrival in the South American nation. Sources close to the situation, who wish to remain anonymous given the sensitive nature of the discussions, have hinted at advanced talks between Watt's representatives and an undisclosed entity in Brazil. The details remain murky, fueling fervent speculation among fans and analysts alike. Is this a groundbreaking endorsement deal, a foray into a new sporting venture? Or could it be a more dramatic shift, perhaps an unexpected career pivot or even a temporary sabbatical with a Brazilian connection. The very idea of the three-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, known for his relentless pass rush and game-changing plays, trading the gridiron of Heinz Field for the vibrant landscape of Brazil seems almost surreal, yet the persistent buzz suggests there's more than just idle gossip at play. The confirmation being murmured about could signify anything from a major marketing campaign featuring Watt in Brazil to a deeper, more personal connection that has drawn the superstar's interest. For Steelers fans, the news, even as a rumor, is sure to spark anxiety. The thought of losing their defensive anchor, or even having him distracted by ventures abroad, is a daunting prospect. Meanwhile, Brazilian sports enthusiasts are undoubtedly dreaming of the possibilities, imagining the impact a figure of Watt's stature could have on the local sports scene, regardless of the capacity. As the silence from official channels continues, the anticipation only builds. Is this just a fleeting fantasy? Or are we on the cusp of witnessing one of the most unexpected moves in recent sports memory? The world waits with bated breath for the Steelers, or perhaps even T.J. Watt himself, to finally address the growing murmur. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.